The Ohio government is ripping us off, and we have the receipts. Those receipts are hiding in plain sight. Hiding in plain sight refers to the concept of something or someone being easily visible yet overlooked or unnoticed because it or they blend seamlessly into surroundings or appear ordinary. The phrase often implies that the object or person isn't actively concealed, but instead remains hidden due to people's assumptions, inattentiveness, or inability to recognize their significance. A spy might hide in plain sight by dressing and acting like a local, blending in with the crowd rather than staying hidden in an obscure location. An important clue in a mystery story might be hiding in plain sight because it's an obvious detail that everyone dismisses or ignores. The concept is often used in literature, art, and even real-life situations where the most apparent things can be the most overlooked. What about Ohio? There's obvious waste, abuse, and maybe even fraud being reported to Ohioans online. Yet the legacy corporate media, our elected representatives, and we the people barely notice it and do almost nothing about it. The Ohio Checkbook is a website where you can find information about spending of your tax dollars in Ohio. One section of it lets you see the compensation, the pay, of every state employee and select others, like commissioners and board members. Yet few Ohioans know this free access to valuable information is available. And, like all things government, we are paying for it. You can access the Ohio Checkbook from the ohio.gov website. However, to save time, the direct link to state employee compensation is shown on the screen. If you go to it, you'll see this. Near the top left of the screen, you'll see a box labeled Agency, displaying the word All in parentheses. If you select it, you'll see this drop-down where you can display employees by agency. We're going to do a deeper dive into two state agencies, saving the best for last. We'll start with the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction. Their payroll is the largest of any state government entity at almost $1 billion annually. We'll first select Department of Rehabilitation and Correction from the drop-down, and then click the Search Employees magnifying glass in the upper right of the page. Here we see a list of every employee of the department ranked from highest to lowest paid. As you'll see, the most highly compensated employees of the department are physicians. It pays to be a doc on the cell block, we guess. Of note on this page is a nurse who made $273,127.50 because of lots of overtime. Using the scroll bar on the right side of the employee list, we can page down in the data. The highest paid correction officer made $205,074.51. We can click on that officer's row to get more granular pay data. Wow, by any standard, that's a whole lot of overtime pay. And there are a number of other corrections officers with similar pay analysis. You can go look for yourself, and we encourage you to do so. When you're on the payroll list page for a department or agency, there is a download button in the upper right of the screen. It's useful. We downloaded the data for Department of Rehabilitation and Correction. There are 14,242 employees shown on the payroll spreadsheet. This gives one an idea of the size and scope of the department. And there are 1,939 people earning $100,000 or more a year. There will be a link in the show notes for the Rumble and YouTube instances of this video where you can download the spreadsheets referenced in this episode. Now, let's check out the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. While drilling down into its employees, let us note that in the upper right of the agency or department screen is a box labeled Show Top. In this case, it's displaying the top 200 highest paid employees of the department. You can use the scroll bar on the right of the employee list and scroll through these 200. But what if you want to display more? Just put a different number in the box. Here we selected 1,000 records. Looking at the data, we see some incredibly well-paid employees of the department. We downloaded the spreadsheet for the entire department. There are 54 employees making over $250,000 a year in the department. There are 751 employees making over $100,000 a year in the department. Ask yourself a question. If you could get in on this gravy train, why would you want fentanyl stopped at the Mexican border or even the Ohio border? I want to dig into the highest paid employee of the department. She was paid $558,135.11 in 2024. And it appears she also runs a private practice, which indicates it will bill you for her services if you want to be a patient. Is this double dipping? We'll let you decide. Here's her pay breakdown from the state website. What is on-duty pay? We haven't been able to find a definition of it on any state website, but we'll keep trying. Here is a series of her annual compensation, where she's been the top earner at the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services since at least 2019. We asked ChatGPT to give us the average pay of a psychiatrist in Ohio. The answer is displayed on the screen. You decide whether Ohio taxpayers are getting value for her services. We do know Ohio taxpayers have made her a millionaire, probably multiple times over. Take a crack at doing some analysis here yourself. Trigger warning, doing so will raise your blood pressure. Let us know if you find anything of particular need for publicity. This video is brought to you by the Grassroots Freedom Initiative, or GFI for short. If you're not already on our email and text lists, please be sure to join our network of thousands of Ohioans. It's easy, free, and we won't ask you for money. Visit gfiohio.com and click the Join Us button in the upper right-hand corner of any page, or text GFI to 66866 and follow the prompts. And please be sure to find and follow us on YouTube and Rumble. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give us a like to be made aware when we post new content. Thanks for watching. Please remember to stay informed and get engaged.